Welcome to another Black Friday episode of Monday Movie Pickup. Not everything I purchased was something for Black Friday. For instance, we have here the Muppets Take Manhattan General Mills DVD that they threw into General Mills cereal boxes. Yeah, that used to be a thing they did. They would put DVDs, or as this thing is, an American Online 1,000 hours for free, a sign-up disc. They would put them in cereal boxes and ship them out, and in this case, people got Muppets Take Manhattan with it. I have the movie already on Blu-ray, but I think this is just one of the more funny things to ever be done as one of those prizes you get in the cereal box. They used to do like spoons. You could send in something to get like an order. I know my mom sent one time something for me to get like a car's license plate with my name on it. So like they did all kinds of different things in cereal boxes for years. AOL, I mean, they went wild with these discs. You could get these discs anywhere. When you were leaving a Walmart, you would see them against the wall right near the exit door, and you could just take one, bring it home, and install American Online. They would always give you a free few thousand hours. I always wondered, like, if somebody kept getting new discs and making new emails and just kept getting the free package every single time. And then you had this, Muppets Take Manhattan on DVD. So as you can see, it has been ripped open into before, but still, I think it's just a curiosity. One of those relics of the past that I think it's fun to add to this collection, just because I like adding all kinds of different unique formats, or better yet, unique ways a format was delivered. Red Dawn, an 80s classic that I have yet to see. This is the 4K edition from Shout Factory, which they released the movie previously on only Blu-ray through the Shout Select line, so this is number 13. They kept number 13 for the 4K release when they did an upgrade on it. I'm trying to work on getting a lot of the Shout Select line that I don't own already. Unfortunately, there was not a Shout Select sale for Black Friday from what I've seen. I bought a few of these in the last few weeks, but I've been waiting to see if any of these online Blu-ray shops like Kino, Warner Archive, I was waiting to see if they'd be doing any sales, and it looks like there's a 50% off sale over at Kino, but it's nothing special compared to what they've done in the past. So really, there hasn't been a lot of great Black Friday deals. Here's The Handmaid's Tale. This is the movie that I didn't realize was no longer available on the Shout website. It is out of print, so I paid a little bit more to get this one, but luckily it doesn't look like it's been out of print for too long. Dirty Rotten Scoundrels. And I own this movie on Blu-ray, but I got this upgrade from Shout Select. There is a new special feature on it, but it looks like everything else is similar to what was released on Blu-ray before, except there is a newer scan with it. And this one does come with the reversible sleeve. Usually some of the more popular titles, like Dirty Rotten Scoundrels, are easier to buy. A lot of the less remembered titles still go for about the same price on eBay used that they would go on the Shout Select or the Shout Factory website brand new. So you can't get too many deals on eBay, but once in a while something like that will pop up. I have here some stuff that is actually going out of print, so this is your last chance to get it if it's not gone from the website already. But the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the movie, and it is now going out of print. I own the 2017 movie. I actually enjoyed that movie for what it was. I was never too big into Power Rangers, but I watched it occasionally when it would air on ABC Kids. One of my cousins was really big into these movies, and it wasn't this one that I knew as much. It was actually this one that I saw way more of. I feel like this was in the VHS player when we were at my cousin's house. The most I remember about this movie, it doesn't seem like it's featured here or on the back. I remember there were like some weird troll creatures in this movie, from what I remember. Does anybody have any knowledge of that? Some of these came from Amazon, some of these came from stores, but this is A Christmas Story. This is a movie that I have held off buying for many years, mostly because I'm not a big fan of Christmas Story. Maybe it's because it just played continuously on TBS, so maybe I just got to know the movie way too well and never found it to be all that funny anyway. But another reason that I never bought it was because there were several editions of this movie that had different special features. There was a DVD that came out in the 2000s that had different special features from an Ultimate Collector's Edition Blu-ray, And the general release of that Blu-ray didn't have the exclusive stuff from the Ultimate Collector's Edition. So yeah, basically, not everything was ported over from the DVD, and then not everything from that specific Blu-ray was ported over to the other Blu-rays. But it sounds like with this 4K edition, everything was brought over, which is nice because Warner Brothers has been kind of weird about their 4K editions as of recently. 4Ks of older movies like Enter the Dragon, which only have the commentary on the general 4K release, but it doesn't port over anything from the 30th or the 40th anniversary Blu-rays. And same thing happened with The Exorcist. You had to buy like special editions of The Exorcist and Enter the Dragon in order to get all the special features. And in the case of Enter the Dragon, at least I know, you're not even getting everything. There's still a special feature from specifically the 2007 Blu-ray of Enter the Dragon that isn't available on any of the other Blu-rays. But why are those movies getting bare bones general 4K releases, yet A Christmas Story just has everything? Christmas Vacation. This is one that I pretty much watch every year now. It's come down to this is like the only Christmas movie I will definitely watch every single year, and I've been waiting for a better transfer of this movie for a long time now, and it sounds like this release vastly improves on the previous Blu-rays. It sounds like the 25th anniversary edition of the Blu-ray actually had a better transfer, and that's the one they used for this release as well. So they have already fixed it before, but I never got that release. They re-release these Christmas movies every season, but you never know exactly which one you're getting. They don't really say it on there because they usually add new packaging or slipcovers to every release. But this has everything, and this has the correct transfer. Unfortunately, it still has the lame special features that we've had for years, which is just a commentary, a trailer. I wish they would do more because it sounds like there's deleted scenes in that movie that have never been seen. It'd be cool if they did like a huge vacation box set. Here's some other Black Friday deals. You know, the best thing about Black Friday, even though the deals have really slowed down in recent years and they're not releasing as many Blu-rays now, and you know, Best Buy says this is the last year they're gonna be doing it. We'll see how that pans out. This is still a good chance to get a lot of newer titles on Blu-ray. Some of the bigger blockbusters I need to buy that came out in the past year. And I did not get Jurassic World Dominion last year. Thought the movie was okay enough. It was a big improvement over Fallen Kingdom, and this release actually doesn't have an exclusive at any of the stores that included a bonus disc. Fallen Kingdom had that. I just found out the first Jurassic World had that as well. I had no idea. But this release didn't have a bonus disc from like Walmart or Target, from my knowledge anyway. Here's Black Adam. This movie came and went. There was a lot of hype from the studio anyway, and from Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson about this movie. I think a lot of people, from what I heard, were fine with the movie. I was fine with it. It kind of felt like a 90s superhero movie, a well-done 90s superhero movie, but it felt like it came too late. And unfortunately, this did not spark the second coming of the DCEU, and now it's effectively done. Also, all of these are 4Ks. There were some Blu-ray sales as well, but for the most part they were selling 4Ks, and for the most part it was like $10 a pop, so that's not too bad. Okay, this one's a mistake. Evil Dead Rise. I looked on the back and I realized, oh, they don't have any special features with this. I still took it home. I opened it up. I was thinking that there might just be a chance that they don't have the special features listed on the back, but they are in there actually. Unfortunately, what I found out is that only on the Best Buy Steelbook can you get the special features. There's an audio commentary and I believe an additional featurette. It's not even like a separate disc. Like the 4K disc on the Steelbook is entirely different from this release, and I haven't seen a company do that since, well, Warner Brothers did it back in the day when they would do, they did that with The Hangover 2, one version which had no special features, and then they would release a different version which had a bunch of special features. And usually the one that they would put for sale during Black Friday would be the version that doesn't have the special features, and a lot of people like me got duped. And the movie was great. I mean, it's one of my top 10 movies of this year. It is a great horror movie, and a great sequel, or I guess they call it a reboot or separate universe Evil Dead movie, whatever. It's a great Evil Dead movie is the point. Shazam! Fury of the Gods. This movie's awful. At this point, I am collecting everything from the DCEU, but man, this was the worst of probably all of them, which is funny because I actually think Shazam is the best of the DCEU. I actually think that was their best movie. It's my favorite. It's the one that I go back to the most. And for whatever reason, this sequel was just boring and lazy, and it felt repetitive at times. I did not care about the villains at all. Here's Creed 3, another great Creed film, and Michael B. Jordan directed this one, and I love that they did that because, you know, Sylvester Stallone did the same thing. He came to direct the Rocky franchise, I think with the third and fourth movie. But Michael B. Jordan is doing the same thing where he takes on the reins of the Creed franchise, and this is a great one. This is better than the second one. I still think the first one is the best, but this one's really good and has a more like Creed-centric story. Like they don't need to go back to anything involving Rocky. It's just odd that this movie makes no mention of him, and that's weird when you're, you know, a fan of Rocky and you know Sylvester Stallone's still alive. It's just weird that he's just not in the movie at all. But, you know, I hope maybe they will solve their issues with like a fourth or a fifth Creed movie, and maybe Sylvester Stallone can come back one last time and finish things out. That'd be nice. Transformers: Rise of the Beast. So this was an improvement over some of the other Michael Bay movies, but for the most part, I still didn't think this one was all that great. The first original Transformers movie, maybe it's the nostalgia in me, but I love that movie. I think it's effective. I think it's an effective and somewhat funny blockbuster. You know, some of it's still cringe nowadays, but the first movie works for me. Bumblebee is great, and I really wish they would have just done something to continue that storyline. They did a new story with this one, with one of the weirdest endings that apparently is leading to a spin-off, but like the ending, the end credit scene is one of the weirdest things I've ever seen. The Super Mario Brothers movie. I really enjoyed this movie. Yeah, it's not one of my favorite movies of the year. It's the story is pretty weak, but everything else about it is exactly what you would want out of a Super Mario Brothers movie. So I think I'll return to this one quite often just because, I mean, I love the franchise, and seeing something like this that really pays tribute to the franchise, has a lot of little moments that reference the games, music notes that, you know, some of the score is just lifted from the games. I loved it for that, so I'll return to this one quite a bit. Across the Spider-Verse, which I like this movie a lot. It's up there for me this year. I will say that I'm kind of waiting to see what the third one's going to be like. It ends on a cliffhanger. The movie, I think, stands on its own, but there's just a few things that they do with the character thematically that I wonder how they're going to wrap it up in the third movie, because depending how they wrap it up in the third one, I might look at this movie completely different. The bad guys. So I've been buying like all the DreamWorks movies, so at this point I just have to get the newer ones, and The Bad Guys was a huge surprise. I didn't expect it to be as good or as funny or as entertaining as it was, but just a great little heist movie. I like adding those to my collection, but it would have been nice to see some of those indie movies that came out in the last 2 years have some Blu-ray sales or 4K sales. And last but not least, I have 2 additional Criterion discs. So this is The Last Picture Show, which includes Texasville. From what I understand, the original release of The Last Picture Show did not include Texasville, which is the sequel. And this release, which is the one that they did in conjunction with the 4K release, includes the sequel. Did get the 4K for Mean Streets. I might as well keep that trend going with Martin Scorsese with his Criterion releases. They had After Hours this year, they had Raging Bull a while back, and now they got Mean Streets, which is great because recently when I was looking at Blu-ray releases for Martin Scorsese movies, it didn't look like Mean Streets ever got all that great of a Blu-ray release, even though it deserves it. You know, it deserves a little more credit. So it's cool that Criterion stepped up. They did this great 4K edition, and that was everything for Black Friday this year. Was there anything that I missed that I should have remembered to buy? Let me know in the comments because it's probably too late. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks for watching the video, and special shout out to Lauren, Anthony, Anna, Kirsten, Spencer, Lucas, Ryan, and Robert for the support on Patreon. By joining my Patreon, you can get exclusive videos and blogs, and for only $7, you can request your own movie review. I hope you stick around, Cinephile, and have a happy, productive day.